Python powers the modern world. It processes straightforward web development requests and trains complex artificial intelligence models on a global scale. But despite that massive reach, the language itself is inert on your machine right now. Until you establish a strictly configured local environment, you cannot build anything. Over the next 5 minutes, we are going to complete 3 specific objectives to fix that. Step 1, we will install the raw programming language. Step 2, we will configure a visual editor. And Step 3, we will draft and run a functional script. You do not need any prior coding knowledge to complete this build. You only need a computer and an active internet connection. Completing this setup provides the technical foundation required to begin building your own applications. We start with the Python core. Think of this as the invisible engine on your machine. Its only job is to translate your human-readable logic into the raw instructions your computer hardware actually understands. To get the engine, navigate to the official Python web portal. This interface is the central hub for the language. Simply click the main download button to launch the standard installer sequence. When the installer opens, pause. You must check the box labeled Add Python to Path at the bottom of the window. Bypassing this single checkbox will break your system's command line integration, leaving the engine unreachable. Once the installation finishes, we need to prove the engine is running. Open your computer's terminal, type the word Python followed by 2 dashes and the word version, and hit enter. The terminal will return the exact version number you just installed. Verifying the version now ensures the engine is reachable, preventing the connection errors that often stall developers later. That engine operates in the background, entirely through text. To actually architect your code efficiently, you need a dashboard. We will use Visual Studio Code as our graphical interface. Head to the Visual Studio Code website, download the installer for your operating system, and follow the standard prompts to open the application. Out of the box, VS Code cannot natively read Python syntax. It is just a blank text editor. We have to install a specific translation layer so the dashboard can talk to the engine. Inside VS Code, click on the extensions icon. Search for Python. Looking at this dark mode marketplace interface, you want to locate the official Microsoft-provided extension, marked clearly by a blue verification badge. Click Install. You will know the integration is successful when the visual cue on the Install button changes from a loading state into an active configuration icon, usually a small gear. Fusing your raw back-end engine with this specialized front-end dashboard produces a complete, localized, industry-standard development pipeline. Now we write our first script. A script is just a strict sequence of rules the engine must follow. Inside VS Code, create a new file and name it app.py. Looking at this high-contrast code editor interface, let's establish our first rule: comments. Comments are explicitly human-readable notes. Typing a hashtag symbol forces the engine to ignore them completely, turning the text a muted gray. Next are identifiers. Identifiers are custom containers you build to store specific pieces of data, like a user's name or a numerical value. You cannot name your identifiers after reserved Python keywords like if, for, or while. Doing so confuses the engine's core logic, triggering a syntax error. Finally, Python enforces a rigid structural law known as indentation. Unlike other languages that use brackets, Python uses deliberate vertical spacing and rightward shifts to group logic together. Writing clear comments, creating valid identifiers, and maintaining strict indentation constitutes the absolute foundation required to scale up to complex software engineering. You've drafted the script, but the code remains completely dormant until you explicitly commit the file to your hard drive. Simply press Ctrl+S or Command+S to save. Click the play button in the top right corner. Invisibly, the code instantly compiles and races from the editor down into the core Python engine for processing. Watch the bottom of your screen. You will see the terminal pane rising, displaying the exact text output you programmed in the script. The underlying engine executed your custom logic flawlessly. Let's review what you just built. You started with a blank operating system. You installed a back-end processing engine. You configured a visual front-end editor, and you applied foundational syntax to yield a tangible result. Now, test the system. Change the value in your identifier container, save the file, and run it again. Once you can successfully modify and re-execute this program, your local environment is ready for data type architecture.